Hello, Explora Bookworms. Welcome to the Explora Books booth here at the City of London here in United Kingdom. And we're very excited because we are finally here at the events, one of the biggest event and most prestigious event in the book publishing industry, the London Book Fair 2026. And we were here last year. We were located at the second floor, but this time we're at the main hall, the grand hall of Olympia events, celebrating literature with readers, with storytellers, with people in the publishing industry. And today we are also featuring authors right here at Explora Books booth. It's 6F, am I right? 6F108, and it's easy to find us. There's a lot. There are directories, there are people who can assist you in coming here because this is such a huge event. But today we're not gonna talk much about the London Book Fair because everybody knows this is a convergence of people in the publishing industry. But we're gonna talk about one story, one inspirational and motivational story that is written from generation to generation. I'm talking about the book Rates, and this is written by Donna Jean Stankey, and I have with me the successor of the crown of this beautiful masterpiece, who is the daughter of Donna Jean, and that is Ramona Hammel. Hello, Ramona. Welcome to Explore Books booth.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're very excited to see you, and you've been here for quite some time today distributing these books, and I'm sure that the experience was fulfilling for you. How is it so far?
It's really been awesome because I'm a novice to this. This is my first time, but yes, it has been a wonderful experience.
Beautiful, because this is different. This is something different because it is the daughter who tells the story, promotes this book, and makes sure that it gets to a lot of people. Now, what motivated you from the story of this one? What motivated you to come up with an idea to really let this out and promote this and push further to make this story become known worldwide?
What it is, my mom and I both love history. And the thing was, when we would go visit my grandpa, he always told us stories about when he was a child. And so it's like, wow. And my mom would take notes then and write them all down. And then we're kind of like, well, wait a minute, if you just got all these notes, let's put it into book form.
Yes.
And then what we thought, we go, because if we do book form, it can be for my family, but it can also be for anybody else this way. Because if we get a book, and it was such an exciting era. Because it's the late 1890s. And so it just shows how it was to live on the farm back then and how people lived. And so that was our thing about we can do this so that it can go for generation to generation.
Wow. So this is not just telling the story so that your daughters and sons and your great granddaughters and sons would get to read, but this is for everyone, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're promoting this in London, so there must be something very inspirational about this. Tell us about the story of Rate.
So the story is, well, it's kind of interesting because I actually, the Sutteringtons did come from England first, and then they went to Canada. And so this starts with the ones that went to Canada, and then they moved to mid-Michigan. And so it's really based on my family history. So it's really pretty cool. And it's just,
you have an English blood.
So exactly. So that's what's fun about it. And then like you say, and what's really neat is in actually Leamington, Canada, there's a house that they built there, and then it's got the Sutterington name in the sidewalk. And I was able to go see that. And I remember my mom had wanted to see that too, but she never was able to make it. But so anyway, but this then, now that they're in Michigan, and my great great grandpa, he was an astute businessman, and I think it was just that challenge of coming to Michigan because it was a newer state, and there's lots of opportunities because he was a very successful businessman, and then because he sold real estate and cattle and horses and sheep and that, and so he bought land, and it was just a way for him to grow. And he did what, like say, was very successful, and they brought their 3 children along. Well, the one child is kind of the wayward son, and he doesn't do what his dad wants. And so he marries this saloon girl and does some business deals that aren't so good. Where his brother, my grandpa, great grandpa, who's trying to impress his dad. He's like, "Oh, Dad, I'll do everything you want. I do what you say." Well, that caused some rift then between his wife and him because she's like, "Why do you always have to do what your dad says?" You know.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Can't you stand up for yourself?" And he goes, "Well, no, I'm here to please my dad." In fact, that's how the book rates.
Yes.
Because his grandparents were named Horatio Severington, nicknamed Ray, and so he said, "I'll nickname my son Ray, so that should please my dad."
Wow, it's a rich family history.
Yeah.
Now, I want to get to, in watching movies, for example, there is a certain climax, like something that people would really want to, want to catch, want to wait for.
Oh.
What makes this book like you want to hang on to a story? What part of the book is that?
Well, it's interesting. So my great grandma, the only reason she got married was so she wouldn't be known as a spinster. She really did, or an old maid. So she gets married and she has the first baby, a little girl, and she goes, "Okay, I can tolerate her. She's a girl," but she did not want to get pregnant again. And then so she has the little boy. And she is like, vows, "I will never love him." And so her daughter, though, too, has that same attitude. "I don't want a brother. You can feed him to the pigs. I don't want it." And so here, my innocent grandpa, he's like, "What have I done wrong being born into this family that they catered to the girls of the family?" So they did things like she got to have tea parties and birthday parties where he's like, "Well, you just do the chores, you know." But my grandpa wanted him because he goes, "Well, okay, carry on the family name, you'll be able to work on the farm."
Yeah.
And so he had to overcome that about, okay, here's my sister getting all this favor, and even the grandparents were like that too with her.
Yeah.
In fact, they had her move into town with them so she could go to the public school so she could get a better education, where he was like, "You just go to country school, we don't care what happens to you. Because you're just a boy and you'll work on the farm where they did." So
Wow, there's a lot of meat in there. It's a story of a success of someone and the struggle to really be successful, to really be educated, right?
yes.
Now, talk to us this time. Let's veer away from the story of the book, but tell us about you. I know some of our viewers are interested about you. What have you been doing for the past decades, and
Okay.
what made you busy?
So it's kind of interesting. I actually grew up on a fourth generation farm, which my mom grew up on fourth generation farm, and now I'm married to and living on my husband's fourth generation farm. So we really got the country life and farm life in our family. But in the meantime, I'd gone to school and became a dental hygienist. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm still working as a dental hygienist in a small community. And I do that 2 days a week, and that's what I do. And my husband, already has great grandchildren, so we have a lot of family on his side.
That's
We take care of.
You have a big family right now.
Oh yes, mostly on my husband's side. My side not so big, but yes, my husband's side is very big.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So this one is a generational story, just like the farm.
Exactly.
Like the farm is being, passed on from generation to generation. This story is also passed on from one family to another generation. So get a copy now of Rate. This is available on Amazon,
Yes.
Barnes & Noble, and other leading digital bookstores. It's available online, and if you scan the QR code on your screen, which will show right now, you scan it through your cell phones, it will route you to the Amazon page. And how much is this?
Well, I'm not sure.
I think it should be around 10 or 8. It's affordable. Yeah, it's a quick read, so it's not expensive, easy to read, because you only have, how many pages do we have here? Around 197.
Yeah.
200 pages. So it's a very quick read. It's a 6 by 9 inch book. So rates. So please talk to our viewers right now. Tell them about rates and what are the lessons that they can pick up from this book. Go ahead and talk to them.
What's fun about it, like I said, when you think here's this little boy born into this family, but he's really not wanted by anyone except his dad so he can work. And so it shows how he had to overcome the fact that his sister was so favored and he didn't understand why. And he could have really gone the other way, but he's like, you know what, I'm going to just kind of served my own way, forged my own way. And so he really got into the farming life. He loved the animals. And so animals were his thing. Because he has a favorite horse, he has the dog. In fact, for him to get a dog, where his sister, they were just going to give her a dog, but she didn't want it. So he took care of that dog. And then he had to buy his dog, though, for $1.50. And he had to pick strawberries for 1 penny a quart, is what his mom gave him, so that he could buy this dog. So it just showed, or like when he got a Christmas gift of a sled, it was like, oh my gosh, you can use that now to go get the mail, because of course we didn't have room for your delivery yet. Or you can do it to haul wood. It wasn't just for a car. Where his sister, oh, you can have your ice skate suit. You can go with your friend and go ice skating and have fun. And so it shows, it's kind of interesting how then, I mean, because he excelled in school, and he loved school, and he did really well, and the teachers liked him too. And so it kind of shows how he's like, okay, you know what? I can just make my own way in life. And that's what I like about it. He was an overcomer instead of succumbing to and being bitter that his sister got the privileges.
And it talks about a lot of values of people right now. Yeah. The value of being hardworking and being, achieving your dreams, doing your best to achieve what you can, which is something that a lot of people right now really need, right? Yeah. Stories that will inspire them to really do your best, despite, of course, whatever situation you're in. Not everyone is of course, privileged to have that kind of experience. I think it's a privilege to have an experience that an experience of poverty or anything like that of that sort, where you have to be challenged to really do better, because we're privileged as well to have the things that we need, right? I mean, in their life before, it wasn't like that.
No.
How about your life?
My life too. I kind of had to work for what I got too. Because we were in a family of 7 and on the farm, and so yes, you all had chores, things that we had to do that were expected of you. And same with this. I mean, he was expected at a young age. It's like, oh no, you're going to help with the animals. You're going to help with the chores. You're going to, well, even like, and he hated it, is he had to churn butter. And he's like, oh, that's women's work. But his daughter, his sister didn't have to do much of that stuff, because he had to help, or even doing the washing, the wringer washer. He had to do that. And he's like, why do I have to do this? He was hoping to get older quicker so that he could do more stuff on the farm. But he loved the country and living out in the country. But then when they moved to town, so that his sister could continue going there, he's like, now what am I supposed to do? I love the farm. I love country life. So yeah.
Years, right? I mean, I think one of the lessons here is being contented with your life, right? Because some people, they would move to the city because there are better opportunities. They could have the things that they need, which people don't actually need, right? Like the peace of mind and the slow paced life, you can find it in a farm, and it's even better. Am I right?
Yes, it is.
Of course, having lived in a farm, I mean, you could say very well that it is a different life.
A very different life. It's just because you're using animals and you're growing crops.
Yes.
And so, and where these crops come from and how much it takes to grow them and take care of them. Same with the animals. And the thing was too, even when they moved to town back then, because they still had horses back then instead of cars. And that's what's fun about this too. He grows up in a time very opulent in the late 1890s. And so, I mean, you get the train that he can take to Chicago. And that's a big deal for him. We have the telephone all of a sudden, and now he can call his aunt up in Traverse City. Boy, it's like, wow. And then here's his first time he sees an automobile, and things like that. And so it's kind of interesting. We are so used to having so much for us, it's so convenient. But yet they had to experience, it's like, oh, wow, do we really trust an automobile? Because they were so used to horses and taking care of the horses. And so
I couldn't trust a horse.
So, I know exactly what you say. So, I mean, it was very different for them to go, okay, or like airplanes for the first time. You go, wow, okay, that's an airplane, but you don't know much about it. And so very interesting.
Yeah. But it's a different kind of the value that they have acquired from being in a farm. You have to really work day in and day out to really get the food you eat in every day. To serve something on the table. Am I right? And so everything in his life is here. Rates is available on Amazon. Again, the QR codes can be scanned on the screen right now. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram. So get a copy now it's now available on Amazon. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Ramona, for being here, and we appreciate you for being for really, being with us face to face, physical in flesh. And we will be back with more of Ramona today. If you're here in London, you can visit our booth at Explorer Books booth 6F108. I think that's the right one. Or just look for Explorer Books. We're located at the main hall. So thank you very much. Again, Rates is available now on Amazon. Thank you, Ramona. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.